And at the time in 2009, I had an issue with my equipment. So I had trouble with my Achilles tendon. And I went to see a friend of mine that I was at one particular booth selling a Dr. Hose machine. He's helping me, and he says, you got to meet this guy named Alan Sachs. He's got this magic water. And I'm like, all right, no problem. Let's check this out. So I met Alan. He came over. He brought me some water. He was really smart because he didn't tell me too much about it. He says, just drink it. Just drink it. The simplest approach is usually the best. If you try to give too much information, you end up overselling and losing the person. So you should drink it. I went, okay, no problem. So that night I went back. I asked him, how much should I drink? He said 1.5 liters. I went, I say, you crazy? 1.5 liters of water, if you think about it, usually when you drink bottled water, you try to drink that, you feel awful. So that night I drank, and I finished 1.5 liters of water. And I was shocked. Went to sleep, got up the next morning, another show day. This is 10 days in, by the way. We've already done 20 shows, plus the 10 days of rehearsal. And I felt a lot better. So I was wondering, okay, what did I eat? How much sleep did I get? And I tried to recreate everything in my head, what I did 24 hours before. What made this feel better? And I kept going back to the water. And he gave me 9.0, because I told him, I said, give me the middle grade. I'll start with the 9.0 water. And as I started drinking the water, progressively through, I got stronger and stronger and stronger, and better each time. So I started asking more questions about the water. So Alan's filling me in all the details, which you've been learning about all morning, all the new people that are in the room. And after that, I was sold on it. I was like, this is amazing. Then I got into the 9.5, and I started drinking on an empty stomach, and I started getting headaches and lightheaded, which some of you experience when you're doing a detox or a healing crisis. If there's people in this room that haven't tried the water yet, that could possibly happen. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It happened to me, and I thought I was in good shape. Just because an athlete's in good shape doesn't mean they're healthy. Right? Okay? I've seen a lot of athletes, and this is why I love the water so much for this. I have some friends I've competed against. One gentleman, Todd Eldridge from the States, a really good friend of mine, one of the toughest competitors I've ever had over the years. He's not skating anymore. He's teaching. He had hip replacement. He's 10 months older than I am, not by much. Had a hip replacement. I'm still doing triple jumps. I'm still doing shows. I just finished this. We just finished the C&E run, which was a tough run of 36 shows, and I feel great. Yeah, of course I'm a little bit fatigued, but yeah, I have to recoup. I'm 45, and I'm still doing it. I have another friend, 2 other friends, 3 other friends I'm going to share with you. 2 Russian guys, both Olympic champions. One had a hip replacement at 33 years old. Another one had a hip replacement at, I believe it was 36. And one other gentleman had both knees replaced and had about 6 surgeries on his back and his neck and his spine. And he is, I call him the Bionic Man. He's continuing to do shows and stuff, but he's 9 years younger than me. All right, and I don't know by the time he gets to my age if he's going to continue and having a longevity of a career. So with this, with skating and with any sport, the biggest thing is acidic buildup. And this is one of the main things that got me so connected with the water. When I was a teenager, I had a really bad bout of cystic acne. Not acne, cystic acne. And it came out. I had beautiful skin till I was about 12. As soon as I turned 13, bang, that was it. It was all the way, all over my back, right past my arm. I never took off my shirt, ever. I had this right into my 30s. It continued right into my 30s. I worked with a homeopath. Many doctors, they wanted to give me tetracycline and Accutane and all this crazy drugs and stuff, and my instinct said no. I grew up on a farm. My parents are from Europe. Everything was about herbs and organics and all that sort of stuff. So my brain was already programmed that direction. So I already instinctually knew what was right and what wasn't. We all kind of know that now. We're educated enough to know what's good out there and what isn't. This is great stuff. So through all of that, I learned about acidity and alkalinity. And I learned this about 15 years ago. Before, it's now a lot of companies are using it as flavor of the month, I call it. All right? Flavor of the month. And we hear that, oh, let's see how much money we can make because someone threw it out there into the market, and now we're going to make money on it and create our own little thing because we're going to use those terms. Alkaline, right? But there's a big difference between alkaline and alkalized. Big difference. I can make water alkaline easily. Does it help you? Not really. Alkalized water does a different thing. As we know, as you will be educated on this for the newcomers to Kangen water. So I started learning a little bit more about this acidic buildup. And everybody's body reacts to acidity differently. Some people will gain weight. And usually they gain weight right around the midsection. You ever wonder why we don't just gain weight up here? It's always here. It's because the body's trying to keep the acid buildup away from our vital organs, our heart and our lungs. And when they do cross-sections of fat from obese people, 85 to 90% of it is herbicides and pesticides. It's a scary thing. And it's not just from food, it's from our environment. Now, as an athlete, I'm trying to eat clean and do all this stuff, but stress is the #1 cause of acidity. #1. And then there's refined sugar, and then there's carbonation, and then you go down the line. But stress is #1. My life was based on that every single day. 6 days to 7 days a week I trained. When I was young, it was 6-7 hours a day on the ice when we have compulsory figures. And my focus was skating, eat, breathe, sleep, obsession, skating to be the best, which I'm going to talk about later on this afternoon, about motivation. And all of this buildup had to go somewhere. I couldn't gain fat because I was training. So my body reacted quickly, and I know my body very well. It wanted to get rid of it fast. What did it do? Pushed it through the skin. That's where it starts. When I see proactive and I see all this other stuff, oh, it's on the skin, it's on the out, it's not the outside, it's the inside. You clean the inside, the rest is going to be fine. You have a good heart and soul, it's going to come through your skin. If you believe you're beautiful, you are beautiful. People will see you as beautiful because you believe it. Okay? So I started drinking the water when we got our machine, and I started to see it. I was talking to Alan about it, started asking questions. You know, you first learn about the water, and then you start linking it to different things. And then the person giving you the information, you start asking those questions, and you realize, oh, this could help with so many things. It doesn't cure. Can't say that. But what it does is it puts your body in a state that wants to be healthy. Your body is fighting to be healthy. It's an amazing organism. It wants to be healthy. You just got to put it in an environment that allow it to do what it's naturally trying to do. So I started drinking more and more and more of the water. The first 2 weeks to 3 weeks, my skin started getting better. And then it started to get really bad, which is something that'll happen when you're first drinking. If you're dealing with an issue, it most likely will get worse. We call it a healing crisis. So I'll use this explanation. I look at the body as a cell. Write down the cell network, okay? When you're looking at a cell, I look at like a little pool of water. And in this little pond or this little pool, at the bottom, you ever see the little sediment that just sits there, but you can see at the bottom? All right, that's our cell, or our body's like a filter. Now, at the bottom, that sediment, I look at that like herbicides and pesticides and toxins and all the crap that we get in through our skin and what we breathe in and what we eat, and it sits down at the bottom. Now, when you start drinking the water, and the amazing thing about the water, it's one of the only things that actually can penetrate into the cell membrane. Not just clean around it, it actually penetrates through it. It starts to stir it up. And then it comes to the surface. Now you look at the pond and it's all murky. So now you're activating all that stuff that's in your body. Now your body's starting to feel the flu, get tired, get headaches. You may even have worse symptoms because the body now has to deal with it. Now it's starting to clean. Now the water has pushed it up. Now it's got to clean it through. So my skin got really bad because all the acidic buildup, the places it likes to hide are the joints. The reason it hides in the joints is because there's less blood flow there. All right, that's why you look at tendons and ligaments, they're white. Why are they white? There's less veins going through there to clean it. So everything sits in those places. Started drinking the water. It got worse for a few weeks. I said, I'll just push through, just keep drinking more. And then all of a sudden, it started to clean. And within about a month and a half to 2 months, my skin was almost completely clear. Within 6 months, all the scarring I had disappeared. I was sold. That to me was enough to go, this works. This really works. You know, and to go along with it, I started feeling better. I slept better. All those other things that come naturally.